Welcome to my channel. My name's Evan. I'm going to do a quick reading for you guys today. I'm pretty new to YouTube, but I've been doing readings, both tarot and oracle readings for a couple years now, so I feel comfortable in sharing my message with you guys. So to start off with, I want to say I believe in giving messages in any ways that they come through, and that's not always in a very confined and or obvious way. Take for example these cards that I pulled today. These are all cards from different decks, but together I feel they have an energetic message that comes with them. This is from the I Ching. This is number 9. We have the King of Swords for my Hermetic Tarot deck. I have the World card from my Tarot Magical Correspondences, and then for my Crystal deck we have the card Hidden Light or Hidden Night. You know, this might not mean anything to a lot of people, but there might be the one person that this energetic message just kind of clicks for them. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I'm going to post these a lot and base my readings off the energy that I perceive to be off of these combined. So that being said, I have situational cards that I wanted to start out with. And I do want to make it clear that my readings are more for people who are magically inclined, either that they're dealing with these kind of situations or people, or they just have magic in their every day-to-day life that they work with. So to begin with, let's see. We'll start with my situational cards. Now I have a few different cards. This is a work in progress for me. As you can see, these aren't really pretty or anything like that, but they do get the job done. So the pile I picked up is more for types of beings or types of energies that you may be dealing with. So to start off with, I'm going to ask Spirit and our guides, angels, and ancestors to be with us, to guard us, to watch over us, and keep us protected, especially through any portals that are created by the videos that we watch, or even our phones or computers themselves. I also ask for guidance and wisdom for us to get the messages out that we need to be gotten out, and for the people who need to hear them. Okay, thank you, Spirit. So let's see, what does collective need to know? What kind of energies are around collective right now? Oh, that came right out. So let's see. Stalkers, of course it is. Of course. You know, that's one thing that doesn't really seem to change between a lot of the readers that I see on YouTube. It's like the whole collective, all of us are just dealing with stalkers. It's like a whole group of people, probably like a whole weird soul tribe, came down here we're just going to stalk everybody and leave nobody alone, and it's just going to be a huge mess. So this does not surprise me at all that this came out. So let's see, what are these stalkers trying to do? What are these stalkers trying to do? Okay. We have astral magic, and then we have vision quests. So vision quests for me is always about people trying to go and get information that they don't have or they want to know more about. You know, going back to energy, a vision quest in a sense is going, well, you're not really leaving your body. It could be more remote viewing than anything, but projecting yourself somewhere to perceive an energy that you're not fully aware of. So that makes sense that they'd be trying to do astrological magic mixed with vision quests to trying to see if their stuff's working on us. If you don't have contact with these people, just remember to just keep your barriers up. And if you like candles or whatever, you can just do a little white candle with some sea salt or just anything really, just for some protection and for your privacy. One thing we as a collective really need to do is to protect our privacy, because these people don't know boundaries. They don't really care about boundaries. It actually gives them pleasure to break our boundaries. So we really got to have our, for lack of better words, our defenses in place. So I do see on top of the deck as well, there's jar spells. So that's another thing to be worried about. So we're not worried about, but just be aware of. You know, there's a lot of way to counteract magic with your own magic, but I will say that the best spells for dealing with people who are obsessive and stalking people and doing all this kind of stuff repeatedly is to have your own spells that are not one-time deals, cyclical magic, for lack of better words. For example, a lot of people believe that your bodily fluids can, magically speaking, can make a link to you, and if they get a hold of those things, they could try to use them against you. One thing I've done in the past is I'll take my own urine and I'll put it in a jar. It doesn't have to be urine. You can use your hair. You could use any thing that would make a link to your body. Put it in a jar. Put some sea salt. Put whatever you want in there, and then seal it and take it to a flowing river. And say a prayer. Say whatever you want to do, and then just let that jar sink into the part of the water that's flowing. This will continuously keep you cleansed and help protect you from other people's magic, especially jar magic like sour jars or freezer spells as well. Okay, so they're already right off the bat doing all kinds of this crazy stuff. Let's see what areas of their life are trying to affect. Okay, alright, Spirit, can you show me what areas these people are trying to affect of the collectives? Oh, that's a few. Okay. So we've got kitchen magic, your bedroom, and your mouth. So, because I said kitchen magic, that goes along with the jar spells. Like I said, try to find something that's cyclical, that's repeatedly, constantly working, or if you really are drawn just to candle magic and stuff like that, do the ritual more than once. One thing I wish someone would have told me a long time ago when I first started my path is that there is no real one shot in magic. It's not unheard of, but it is very rare. The more successful ones are the people who do divination or use their discernment to try to figure out what steps they should take, and then keep repeating those steps and keep acting out those rituals that will make a big difference, especially for kitchen magic. Because that deals with herbs, that deals with all kinds of stuff, and you can get pretty nasty with it too. But this can also mean too that they're trying to maybe affect your cooking, affect your happiness in the kitchen. For some people, as weird as it sounds, they have their favorite spot of their house. I know for my mom's, it was her kitchen, because she was a really good cook and she used to love to cook, and that's what she would do all the time. So for her, that was a very magical place. So it doesn't hurt to lay down extra protection in your kitchen area as well. Now for bedroom, that's a big one. We spend a lot of time in our bedrooms asleep. It's important that we feel safe, protected, and that we are safe and protected in these spaces, in these areas. So my recommendation for anyone who might be feeling like their bedroom needs to be cleansed, obviously get some sage, get some herbs and spices and smoke out the room, but do a little bit more than that. You can get holy water, you can get Florida water, kind of sprinkle it around. You could say prayers. A lot of people use Psalms. I like Psalms 23 or Psalms 51 or Psalms 91. But there's a lot of things you can do. You can also put a stone underneath your bed. A lot of people believe, or have believed for a long, long time, that stones carry magical energy. That they're literally carriers, and a lot of things can be placed inside stones themselves. So one thing I do for myself personally sometimes is I'll take a stone and I'll just make a sigil on there to absorb anything that would try to attack me at night. And then once it's done, I just get rid of it. So there's that. And then the mouth, for me, speaking, taste, conveying of messages, conveying of energy, emotions, not speaking up, missed opportunities. These are all things that can be done with people working on your mouth magic or your voice. To counteract this, you can work with your chakras. Make sure your chakras are spinning in the right direction. Make sure they're flowing. Kundalini, working on your Kundalini as well is another great way. Holy water is a good thing to put on your chakras, or Florida water. Or even if you want to carry like a little mojo bag with some herbs or stuff to help protect your mouth. There's a lot of ways you can do it, so I'm not going to go into it, but it's just really important to energetically, especially magically, to protect your mouth, because that's how you speak, that's how you convey, that's how you communicate. So it's extremely important, and it makes a lot of sense why they would try to attack that area. So other than that, I do feel called to see if they're working. So we know they're working with astrological magic. They're doing jar spells. They're stalking. They're doing vision quests. But my question now is if they're working with any spirits or anything. So I'm going to pull some cards to see if they're working with spirits on the collective. Please, Spirit, show me if they're working with any spirits that the collective needs to be aware of. What spirits do they... Okay. Marine spirits on the top of the deck. Vampire energies. IFA. So for the IFA, I'm not going to say I'm an expert at it all. I do know it's an African practice, but you would have to look it up to find more information on that. But I do know they are very big on spell work and occult rituals. Bonkers. African spirits. So it looks like African spirits came out a few times with energy and spells. Bonkers, I believe, is an African, but don't quote me on that. I'm not familiar with it. But I'm going to put them there anyway. And then the FBI, that's not a spirit. So that card wasn't supposed to be in there. FBI to me more means like corrupt officials, corrupt people in places of power. So they could be trying to bribe people. They could be trying to get around people you may know, and to have positions of power over you or authority over you. But as far as vampire energies, let's put all these together. So vampire energies doesn't represent a vampire specifically. What it represents is theft. What it represents is lack of stealing, of taking what doesn't belong to you. It also represents, it could represent energetic theft, destiny theft, spiritual theft, which spiritual theft is a very big issue that a lot of people aren't aware of, and they can lead to a lot of different problems in almost all areas or aspects of your life if not taken care of. Leave that there. Now I feel called to see. I feel called now to see what spirit is telling us some stuff we can do. If there's anything that we can help that can help us with dealing with these people. So spirit, what can the collective do? What does the collective need to know about that will help them with dealing with this situation? What does collective need to know? What will help them dealing with this situation? Okay. So magical protection while you're sleeping. That goes back, obviously, with the bedroom magic. They're definitely working on you while you're sleeping, which makes sense. That's the easiest way to try to get to someone who's unaware, is to try to go after your subconscious. So this card says, be in the present moment, detach and gather psychic information. So for those of you that are into divination and discernment, I would just take some time, light some candles, maybe light some incense, and just sit and see if what information comes to you. It doesn't always have to be about what this person's doing or what their next move is. It could be, hey, because of what this person's doing, you're not seeing this opportunity that's in front of you, or something to that attune. My thoughts were drawn back to the hidden light. I do like the artwork of this deck, but the what they say it's for is kind of weird. Because if you look, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can't. Can I get into focus? No, I cannot. Well, who needs it? French existentialists and future trippers and bad romantics. I'm not gonna say that, but I will say that hidden light or hidden night might have some properties that may be able to help you, especially with sleeping at night. Don't quote me on that. So let me see. Is there anything else that the collective can do or should do that will help them with this current situation they're dealing with? Hire a practitioner. Okay. So with the hire a practitioner card, to me, that always means that the energies that you're using may not be effective because you might have been a target for a while without realizing it, and they may have adapted or specifically targeted your energies. It's like, if you think about it, like running wires through, running electricity through a bunch of different wires, but your wire has been attacked and has been blown out, so it's not that good, and maybe it needs to be healed or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm not saying your stuff's not good. I'm just saying in general, it'd be easier for someone that electricity to travel through another wire to get to the same destination for you, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of practitioners for very cheap you can find on Etsy. I actually have my own shop. I'll put it in the link, but it's called Angel Sword Tarot, and I offer some services, but my most popular one is the Egg Cleanse. Egg Cleanse is very good for removing curses, hexes, vexes, really kind of any attachments or anything that's on a person. I'll put more about that in a link below, though. Okay. So I have my little coin here. I'm just going to ask, is there anything else that the collective needs to know? Yes. Okay. We're going to go with being a present moment. Let's do it. I feel called to this one again. What other spirits are they using, or what other energies are they using against the collective? Bound spirits. Okay. So when bound spirits come out, to me, that definitely means someone who knows what they're doing, magically speaking. Because to bind a spirit, you got to summon it through ritual. You have to bind it magically speaking. You have to have your circle. You have to have your tools. You have to have your incense. You have to really know what you're doing. You have to have your protection. So this definitely goes with the other card of hiring a practitioner. I would definitely recommend looking into that, even if it's just a simple cleanse or if it's a simple oracle or tarot message. But there's something that I think you need to know, or need to be done for you that you might not be able to do yourself at this time, which is nothing wrong with that. We can't always do everything for ourselves. We weren't meant to. We need to rely on each other, especially as a collective. The only way we're going to get stronger is if we start working with each other instead of trying to do everything individually when we're all going through the same things. So bound spirits can also represent bound demons. It can represent bound angels as well. Bound angels is actually more of a problem than people realize, because these angels are not necessarily bad, but they're being bound and being forced to do things that goes against their nature, which can kind of mess the spirit up. So with bound spirits, an uncrossing should be done, an unbinding should be done, or a loosing, depending on what you practice. But this is definitely something that's not going to go away just by ignoring it. Is there anything else the collective needs to know? No. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, for my last part, I'm just going to draw some rune cards for you and draw some more crystal cards. But for the runes, I was working with, I'm going to butcher this name, but Laguz. And Laguz is all about the flow, memory, the unconscious, fate, karma, and dreams. But now to draw one specifically for the collective, could I have a rune card for the collective, please? A runic message for the collective? Okay. And I don't really take reversals for these types of cards, so whatever position it comes out, it doesn't really matter, but Perthrow. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it, I got my little cheat sheet here, but Perthrow is good omen, fate, unknown, initiation, and occult. So it goes back to what I was saying when I first kind of started this, when I got the idea to do this, that I wanted to do this for more magically inclined situations that people may be dealing with. But being that this card came out for the collective, that's a good omen. Just keep doing your protection work and just keep being aware. And definitely protect your bedroom, big time your kitchen, and your mouth. Other than that, that's it. I'm glad you stayed through with the message. And I look forward to bringing more to you guys. Bye.